People noticed him before they understood why. He stood near the bus stop every evening, just far enough from the road that passing cars didn't splash him when it rained, just close enough that everyone waiting for the bus had to pass him. He was tall, thin, dressed in the same gray coat no matter the season. His eyes were the unsettling part. They were open wide, calm, unblinking. Not in a threatening way. Not angry. Just steady. As if blinking was a habit he had never learned. At first, people avoided him. Mothers pulled children a little closer. Old men muttered prayers under their breath. Teenagers dared each other to wave at him and then ran away laughing when he didn't react. He never asked for money. Never spoke. Never moved much at all. He simply stood there and watched the world go by. The city had a way of swallowing odd things and forgetting them. After a few weeks, he became part of the background. The stranger who never blinked, some people called him. Others just called him, that guy. No one asked where he came from. No one asked where he went when the buses stopped running and the streetlights flickered off. Except Amina. Amina took the same bus every day after her hospital shift ended. 12 hours on her feet, the smell of disinfectant clinging to her clothes, her heart tired in a way sleep never fully fixed. She noticed him on her second week at the new route. She noticed because, when their eyes met, he didn't look away. And because there was no hunger in his gaze. No demand. Just attention. The first time, it made her uncomfortable. The second time, curious. By the fifth time, she found herself slowing down as she passed him, wondering what it would feel like to stand that still. One evening, rain fell hard and sudden. People crowded under the bus stop shelter, shoulders pressed together, tempers short. The stranger stood outside, rain soaking his coat, water running down his face like tears he didn't bother to wipe away. Amina watched him from under the shelter, something tightening in her chest. When the bus arrived, people pushed forward. At the last moment, Amina stepped out of line. She walked up to him and held out her umbrella. "You'll catch a cold," she said, unsure why she spoke, unsure if he would answer. He looked at the umbrella. Then at her. His eyes were dark and deep, reflecting the streetlight. Slowly, he shook his head. She felt foolish, standing there, arm extended. But then he did something no one had seen him do before. He blinked. Just once. Slow. Deliberate. Amina smiled, surprised at how much that small gesture meant. "All right," she said softly. "Suit yourself." She boarded the bus soaked on one side, umbrella forgotten. As the bus pulled away, she looked back. He was still standing there, rain and all. Watching. The next day, she brought an extra cup of tea in a thermos. She set it on the bench near him before sitting down herself. He looked at the cup. Steam curled into the air between them. "For you," she said. "It's ginger." He didn't touch it at first. The bus arrived, people boarded, left. The street grew quiet. Finally, when Amina stood to leave, she saw the cup was empty. From that day on, small things appeared around him. A scarf someone must have left. A pair of gloves. A plastic bag with bread and fruit. No one admitted to leaving them. But they were always used. Never wasted. Amina began sitting near him every evening. She talked, at first out of habit, the way nurses talk to patients who may not respond. She told him about difficult cases, about the woman who refused painkillers, about the child who smiled even with needles in his arm. She talked about her mother, who lived alone now, and her fear of becoming invisible. He never interrupted. Never nodded. Never blinked much at all. But sometimes, when she said something especially heavy, his eyes softened, as if he was carrying the weight with her. One night, an old man collapsed near the bus stop. People shouted. Someone called an ambulance. Panic spread like fire. In the chaos, Amina knelt beside the man, checking his pulse. She felt someone steady her shoulder. The stranger stood behind her, hands firm, grounding. When the ambulance arrived, he stepped back into his place as if nothing had happened. After that, others started noticing him differently. A boy who was always bullied began sitting near him, finding comfort in silence. A woman who cried quietly after work stopped hiding her face when she stood nearby. Even the teenagers stopped mocking him. Something about his presence made cruelty feel out of place. One winter evening, snow fell thick and heavy. The buses were delayed. People stamped their feet, breath clouding the air. The stranger stood as always, snow collecting on his shoulders, eyelashes white with frost. Amina watched his lips, slightly blue, and felt a surge of anger at the world. "You can't stand out here all night," she said, louder than she meant to. "You're human." For the first time, he spoke. "I know," he said. His voice was quiet, rough, like it hadn't been used in years. She froze. Everyone nearby froze. "I know," he repeated. Then he blinked. Again. And again. As if reminding himself how. They moved him under the shelter that night. No one protested. Someone gave up a seat. Someone else wrapped another scarf around his neck. He didn't say much after that. Just a few words here and there. His name, when Amina asked, was Yusuf. He said he had once worked as a watchman. Night shifts. Long hours. Watching became his life. When his wife died and his house was taken, he had nowhere to go. Standing and watching was what he knew. It kept him from disappearing completely. "I watch so people are seen," he said once. "Most people just want that." Spring came. Yusuf began blinking normally again. He smiled sometimes. A small, shy smile, like he wasn't sure he was allowed to. The bus stop felt warmer, even on cool nights. Then one evening, he wasn't there. Amina waited. Others waited too. The bus came and went. The bench was empty. The space where he stood felt wrong, like a missing tooth. He didn't come back the next day. Or the next. Weeks later, Amina was called to a different ward. An elderly man had been admitted, malnourished, weak. When she walked into the room, she recognized the eyes immediately. "Yusuf," she whispered. He blinked. Smiled. "I got sick," he said. "Someone brought me here. I think it was because people were watching me back." He recovered slowly. When he was discharged, he didn't return to the bus stop. He found a small job at the hospital, helping clean, helping guide lost visitors. Always watching. Always noticing. Sometimes, in the evenings, Amina passed the old bus stop. People still gathered. But now they looked at each other more. Held umbrellas out. Left extra tea. As if a man who never blinked had taught them how to see. And somewhere in the quiet rhythm of the city, kindness kept watch.